Mara had always prided herself on being rational. Ghosts, demons, curses, they were nothing more than tall tales crafted to frighten the gullible. But when she inherited her late Aunt Lydia's sprawling Victorian manor, the stories surrounding the house were difficult to ignore. Locals called it the Crimson Residence, a name tied to its gruesome history. Lydia had been found dead in the upstairs parlor, her blood pooling not on the floor, but on the ceiling. The bizarre phenomenon was never explained, and whispers of unnatural forces lingered long after the house was sealed. Despite these rumors, Mara's curiosity outweighed her fear. She packed a bag, determined to spend a weekend cleaning out the old house and deciding what to do with the property. Armed with flashlights, a toolbox, and a skeptical mindset, she entered the house just as the sun dipped below the horizon. The manor's interior was a time capsule from a bygone era. Faded wallpaper adorned the walls, and a thick layer of dust coated every surface. The air felt heavy, and the creaking floorboards echoed ominously as she walked from room to room. Her unease grew when she reached the parlor. It was here that Lydia's body had been discovered, lying unnaturally still, while the blood seeped upward against all logic. Mara shone her flashlight at the ceiling, half expecting to see some telltale stain. But it appeared ordinary, worn paint peeling at the edges, but nothing overtly sinister. She set to work sorting through Lydia's belongings. Hours passed, and the house remained silent. Yet a strange chill settled in the parlor, seeping into her bones. Mara's eyes kept darting upward as though drawn by an unseen force. Around midnight, exhaustion compelled her to lie down on the old parlor couch. As she drifted into an uneasy sleep, faint noises began to creep into the quiet. A soft dripping sound echoed through the room, rhythmic and persistent. It was as if water, or something thicker, was falling steadily onto the floor. Mara stirred, her groggy mind struggling to process the sound. When she finally opened her eyes, she was greeted by a horrifying sight. Red droplets splattered onto the floor from above. With trembling hands, she aimed her flashlight at the ceiling. There it was. Blood. Fresh, dark, and viscous, it trickled down, defying all natural explanation. Her heart pounded as she stumbled backward, her breath coming in shallow gasps. The blood spread, forming intricate patterns, no, symbols, that she couldn't begin to comprehend. Then came the whisper, "Mara." She froze, her body locking in place. The voice was soft, yet unmistakable, emanating from everywhere and nowhere at once. "Mara, help us!" Her flashlight flickered and died, plunging the room into darkness. She scrambled for her phone, its screen casting a faint glow. The blood continued to drip, faster now, accompanied by the creaks and groans of the old house. She thought she saw shadows moving along the walls, unnatural and distorted. "Who's there?" she demanded, her voice trembling. The only response was a faint laugh, bitter and echoing. Suddenly, the room was filled with a deafening bang. The parlor door slammed shut, trapping her inside. She clawed at the handle, her hands slick with sweat. It wouldn't budge. The whispers grew louder, overlapping, forming a cacophony of desperation. Through the chaos, she made out fragmented phrases. "We were promised release. Blood must flow. You will join us?" The air grew colder. Her breath fogged as she turned toward the center of the room. There, beneath the pulsating symbols on the ceiling, something was forming. It started as a dark stain, growing larger and darker until it oozed downward. The substance congealed into a shape, a human figure gaunt and faceless, its form shifting like smoke trapped in a bottle. Mara stumbled back, her knees hitting the edge of a small table. The figure reached for her, its skeletal hand dripping with crimson. She screamed and threw the table at it, but it passed harmlessly through the entity. The cold hand closed around her wrist, burning her skin with an icy touch. She felt something invade her mind, not thoughts, but emotions. Rage, betrayal, pain. Her body convulsed as images flooded her vision. Lydia, her aunt, standing in the same room, holding a ritual knife. Other figures surrounded her, their faces hidden beneath hoods, chanting, blood flowing upward as the knife descended. Screams that echoed into eternity. The vision ended, leaving her breathless and sobbing on the floor. The whispers subsided, replaced by a single voice, Lydia's. "Finish what I could not," it said, echoing through the parlor, "or suffer their fate." Mara's rationality fractured under the weight of what she had seen. She didn't understand the ritual, but the symbols on the ceiling seemed to pulse with malevolent intent. Desperate, she grabbed a piece of broken furniture and smashed it against the ceiling. The symbols shattered, the blood raining down as if in protest. The figure shrieked, its formless body unraveling in a spiral of smoke. The whispers became agonized screams, the room shaking violently. Mara collapsed to the floor, covering her.